Welcome. Hello, mindful eaters. We are Brett and Glenda here. Welcome if you are new. This channel is not about diets. So sorry if we got you here if you are on a diet, but we are about finding a nutritional lifestyle that helps you fulfill your goals, especially about overcoming mindless overeating, emotional eating, and all that. We share our individual eating journeys from a calorie counter and an intuitive eater. And just to let you know, before we get into it, we have a second channel. It's called Influence for Purpose, where we are there every Friday morning at 7 a.m. praying for courage, strength, and peace through 2025. So if you're a prayer warrior, have a prayer request, a struggle with mental health, which I've overcome, or anything else, join us there to live with faith-filled intention in God, His Word, and His way, in His ways. So now we're going to get into today's video and why we ask if you're on a diet, watch this. But first, let us know, are you on a diet? What diet are you? Go ahead and comment below. Let us know. And we basically want you to free yourself from it. But we actually what inspired this was a quote that I read earlier. And it said, walls keep everybody out. Boundaries teach people where the door is. This is true in so many areas of life. But today we want to talk about how that applies to our relationship with food. But first, we want to ask how Brett and I are doing and share how our last week of mindful eating is based on our different journeys. How was your week?
Yeah, great. So earlier in the week, like Monday was a fantastic day. That's the day we do our weekly weigh-ins. If you're not part of our Facebook group, please join. It's where we encourage each other, where we support each other. So I had hit my lowest weight, so it was awesome. But for some reason, the next couple of days, I'm a couple pounds up. But you know what? It does not deter me. It doesn't slow me down. This mindful eating journey is a lifestyle. I'm still calorie counting. It's still feeling great. You know, overall, in the last year, I'm down over 40 pounds and over 50 pounds overall since we've done mindful eating. So, yeah, it's been a good week for me. How about you?
Yeah, so I've had a good week too, actually. And I shared, I think, on our social media, and I don't know, maybe I did share it last Thursday. Oh, no, I didn't. Actually, mindful eating helped me to be able to jump on a fast. I was praying and fasting for someone in specific in a situation that we're facing. And because of mindful eating, I wasn't so attached to food. I was able to jump on a fast, and I did a fast from solid food, and that dropped my weight. I might have shared that last week. I don't remember.
You know, when you bring that up, it reminds me that years ago we had done a fast, and I think because I didn't have a healthy relationship with food at the time, I was almost like traumatized that I didn't want to fast.
Right.
And I didn't think I could fast for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then just recently we did a 21-day fast, and that freed my mind. It made things that I thought were impossible now possibilities. It really opened me up. It really freed me from wrong thinking, limited mindsets, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, we're now doing a fast one day a month on the 25th of the month, every month for the year 2025. So we encourage you to join us with that. We do it just to keep ourselves in check. To be free to food addiction, that we know we can do it.
Yeah. So basically, we did that fast on the 25th of this month. Then Thursday I ate, and then this situation came up, and I just felt God calling me to fast and pray, and I was like, I just fasted one day. And then when he told me to fast, I was like, how long do I fast for? I said, so Brett, I'm supposed to fast indefinitely. I don't know. Through it all, he said 3 days. And then on the fourth day, praise and thank God. And so I did that. And now, so that helped me to lose weight. So basically, I don't track calories. I'm building a healthy relationship with food, which means it takes me longer to lose weight. But I'm okay with that because of the fact that my goal is I've lost a lot of weight on different diets, on calorie tracking, on taking pills, on doing shots, doing a bunch of stuff, but I've gained it right back. So I want to be able to create a healthy relationship with food. I've kind of dabbled in tracking my calories in my mind, but not on an app like Brett does, which if it works for you, like it works for him, great. If it doesn't, know that there is a way. So every time I fast, it's like I lose a little bit of weight, which I did lose weight on those 3 days. Now, I will say this, when I was fasting, God forbade me from weighing myself. And as a matter of fact, now I weigh myself every day, and I feel like God is convicting me to not weigh myself, but for other reasons, just because I am in this process of like prayer and fasting and eating, and so there are people that weigh themselves every day. I don't see anything wrong with that, and I can do that too. So please don't do that. But that's just my personal. So I actually had yesterday, it wasn't such a good day for me. I usually have a boundary I don't eat after 5. So yesterday I was cleaning my pantry and getting rid of old cans, and I found this can of condensed milk. And if you love condensed milk, like I love condensed milk because you grew up on coquito, on flan, and on all that stuff, every time you open that can to make those, you spoon it. Well, I did that. And oh my gosh, I felt a high. Sugar is like a drug. And I ended up doing this kind of dessert with condensed milk. And to make it better, I added yogurt and egg, and I had him try it. So I was eating that, and then I was like, okay, that's it. I'm not gonna eat anything else after this. Or no, actually ended up eating later than my usual time. But so today I actually had a very big, what I call brunch, because it was like 11:30, almost 12. It was 3 eggs and some of the brisket. And then I was full all day. I just had a coffee, and now I had a shake for dinner. I was too full to eat. So I'm done eating, and that's how my week went. But yeah.
Sorry, I had one thing I wanted to add about my week, since I'm the calorie counter on this. On Saturday, we were taking care of our nieces and nephews, and they like treats. Actually, it was Glenda that made me stop at Dunkin' Donuts because she wanted coffee. So I ended up getting a donut, and then the little ones wanted Wendy's, so I ended up eating some nuggets. So Saturday, I knew I was going over my calories, but I was mindful of it. By the end of Saturday, I had gone over my calories, almost 1,000 calories in the one day. But because I was being mindful of it, Sunday, I planned that after church, I was going to go to the gym. And we went to the gym, and I was there for 2 hours close to, and burned the whole 1,000 calories back. So, for me, that works for me as part of my mindful eating journey, because the gym doesn't feel like punishment for me. Actually, my mind, I feel better after going to the gym. My body feels better. I have less body pain and things like that. So I just wanted to share that, because for a calorie counter, it's not about I can't have the treats when I want them. It's about, am I sticking to boundaries overall? And I'm willing to put in extra work in the gym sometimes when I want to eat more.
Yeah, for me, it's not that I can't have them. It's just that they don't agree with me, like my digestive system having too much. As a matter of fact, this morning I didn't wake up well, and I wonder if it's related to all that sugar that I had. So, but I'm gonna leave it there. We're gonna move on now. We want to know. Well, we asked what diet you're on, but let us know if you calorie count, if you do more intuitive eating, if you've done it, if it's worked for you. Yeah, let us know where you're at.
Why diets haven't worked for you.
Or why diets haven't worked for you. So anyways, so let's go on. Yeah.
All right. So walls keep everybody out. Boundaries teach people where the door is.
Yes. So that was the quote that I read, and I shared it on our second page in our stories at Influence for Purpose. It's the same for all of the platforms that we're on, because I love boundaries. Okay. I have never heard of boundaries. And until maybe 10 years ago. Now, I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but Puerto Rico, we don't have boundaries. Like, people walk into people, we are with each other, we don't knock on doors, we're just, we FaceTime each other and we ask what you're doing. Like, we really don't have boundaries. So until about 10 years ago, excuse me, I read a book called Boundaries, I think it's called, and I learned about it, and it was so freeing for me. And, now I'm currently okay with the boundaries when it comes to relationship. I've learned to build them. As a matter of fact, it was that building those boundaries that helped me. It was like the principle of the relational boundaries, that when I was struggling with how much I was eating, the emotional eating, the mindless eating at night, watching TV, comforting myself with food and all of that, that God showed me, apply boundaries when it comes to food. And this is what we want to talk about today. And we're going to, instead of walls, boundaries for relational people, the walls are of diet culture, of restriction and yo-yo dieting. And
yeah, diets. We don't like the term. It's a very restrictive term.
Sorry, I just moved our notes. I apologize. But you do not like the right there.
So diets, we don't like the word because it's restrictive. They act like walls. It's a rigid, confining, just designed to keep you completely away from certain foods or certain behaviors, and that doesn't work for me. That's like when I was on keto. It was just something that wasn't sustainable, something I couldn't stick to.
Right.
So with keto, you couldn't, very few carbs. I couldn't have the sweets I wanted. I couldn't have certain things, and that just didn't work. I ended up losing weight, but yes, gaining it all back very quickly. So the problem is that walls, they don't differentiate between what's harmful for you or what's okay in moderation. And with calorie counting, I get to use moderation to have all of the things I want. So when you're in that diet walls cycle, it leads to deprivation and then binging, which brings on guilt and then shame, and ultimately this unhealthy relationship with food.
Yeah. So, but boundaries, they're like a door to freedom and mindfulness. Now, I don't count calories like bread. Excuse me, but boundaries, help me to be able to, like, I don't like diets. Even though I restrict myself from bread, I don't see it as a diet. I just see it as a door. Like, this is going to allow me a wise personal choice. I know when I have too much sugar, too much bread, it doesn't serve my body right. So these boundaries help you to find what serves your body and what doesn't. So you can look at all of the diets out there, everything that you have tried, and then you decide, okay, this serves me, this does not serve me. Boundaries have empowered me and can empower you to say yes to foods that nourish us and no to foods or habits that don't serve us without guilt, fear, or restrictions. So let's say, for example, a habit that I had was overeat and binge on sweets. Now, I don't necessarily say no to that, but I gave myself a boundary to not eat after 5 because I know my week time can be in the evening watching a movie and eating. So now we try not to eat a dinner with people because people generally eat like really, really late. That does not make me feel good. So we're trying to schedule lunches or dates or very early dinners. But then also another thing that we don't do anymore is I don't eat. I separated from bread for a time until I was able to overcome. When we go to movies, we do them early. And so those are boundaries that I set for myself, and he's okay with that.
Yeah.
And so instead of being told I cannot eat after 5, I'm choosing not to eat after 5 or, after whatever time I decide. Instead of not having bread, I'm choosing not to. It's not that we cannot have it. We learn how to listen to our bodies and make those intentional choices. So,
yeah, for me, the practical application when it comes to setting these boundaries around calorie counting is, portion sizes, moderation. Before, if I craved Cheetos, I'm going to buy the big family size bag and I'm going to open it. I'm just going to eat as fast as I can, as much as I can, until I finally decide I'm done, which is crazy, right? That's like, let's say that's 1,000 calories right there. Whereas now, I have Cheetos almost every day when I'm at the office, but they're little individual big Cheetos bag of 120 calories. Or when it comes to like Snickers or something like that, would eat the big king size bar if I'm craving it, right? Well, now I buy the little fun size at Dollar Tree and I have an 80 calorie Snickers. So things like that allow me to have the treats I want without restricting myself completely. But yet I'm happier in the sense that I'm not trying to deprive myself, but I am being mindful of the total number of calories, the amount that I'm having. And I love the fact that I can eat more if I want on a certain day. I just got to, go to the gym and earn those extra calories. So if I'm craving pizza, I know, hey, that's probably more calories than normal, but it's not something that's not sustainable for me. We had a birthday party last month for me, and all the pizzas we ordered were thin crust,
Yeah.
which saved a ton of calories right there. So
We had 3 dozen donuts, but the pizza crust
I didn't eat all
were
3 dozen
thin.
donuts, but yes, we had 3 dozen donuts.
Yes, we did.
But yeah, typically if I want pizza, instead of ordering from a delivery place, I'm buying an individual size one from Trader Joe's or somewhere else that I've looked and seen the total calories for the entire pizza is maybe like 800-900, and I factored it into my day. So those are the kinds of things that I do to set boundaries, set limits. And even on Saturday, when I overate by 1,000, I tracked all of them. I didn't just give up tracking calories because, I'm over, what's the point? No, I tracked them so that the next day I burned all of them back.
Right. Yeah, that's really good. So I actually want to share an intuitive way of to begin a boundary. Okay, so one of the things, and this is where our digital journal came from, is to ask yourself, does this food or habit bring me closer to the health and peace, or does it create imbalance and harm? Now, when I started an intuitive journey, I looked ahead at a few years, and I'm like, okay, I used to take medication, I did the shot, and each time I did those things, I was just prompted with this idea: am I going to do this for the rest of my life? This is not sustainable. And so I began to think about what is a sustainable way for me to have a healthier lifestyle. And so I envision myself, what do I want my life to look like? I want to be able to eat healthy, be healthy, have energy, fulfill my purpose in God. For us to have, we have a grandchild that is coming into this world. And so, we want to live, we want to enjoy life. So, I would eat foods that would make us numb. We would call it, I have a food coma. And then we would just like sit in the couch and sleep. And I got tired of that. So I was like, I need to do something. And I would see how certain foods would make me feel. Some would drain me and some would give me energy. So I began to ask those questions. And those questions are what prompted us to create the Mindful Eating Journal, with the prompted questions and space for you to answer. So you can go through the journey of finding out, well, at first you might have some negative answers, but the goal is to have positive answers. So you ask yourself that, right? And for example, instead of saying, I can't have sugar, I have sweets or sugars, and instead of me saying, oh, I can never have this again, I can say, you know what, this I choose not to have or enjoy this, because my health and my goals, it just doesn't do me well. And if I do have them, I am very mindful of how it's going to make me feel. And so this takes a mindset shift where you're going to look at all foods that are good, or look at all foods as good, and you can have freedom from being restricted for the purpose of a diet to a lifestyle in a sustainable way, so you can prevent the extremes yo-yo of dieting. I'm going to eliminate this and I'm never going to do it. I did the carnivore, I eliminated all of the breads, I couldn't do it. I do like it from time to time. I prefer not to have them because I don't like the way I feel after, but that's an intuitive way to create a boundary.
Yeah, we're going to dive much deeper into how to create your own nutritional boundaries on our next Zoominar for the month of March. It's actually tomorrow night, 7:00.
Yeah.
You haven't missed it. So please tune in live tomorrow, 7:00. We're going to do a 30-40 minute Zoominar to help dive deeper and give you ways that you can create and recognize nutritional boundaries that will work for you.
That's right. And we're going to be emailing the link tonight, and we're going to post it on our Facebook group tomorrow. So make sure you're in our group or signed up for our emails. The link for access to this is going to be in the description box below. So make sure you check it out, that you sign up for that. When you sign up for it, you get access to the Facebook group. You get access to the digital journal. If you prefer a written form, we also have one you can purchase at cost on Amazon, wherever you're at, if Amazon gets there. Now, just remember, in closing, just remember, diets build walls that leave us feeling trapped and discouraged if we fail
Deviate,
or fall or deviate.
Little
But a mindful boundary, it acts as a door, and you can open and close it. It allows us to step into freedom through wisdom for a healthy relationship with food. And again, it can open and close as we need it to. Now, before we go, we always like to say a prayer. But first, before we say a prayer, tell us, what boundary are you going to set for yourself? Are you going to track calories, not eat at night, ask yourself what food or habits? Which
How are
one?
you feeling?
How are you feeling? Maybe you choose to track calories. Maybe you're just going to start to ask yourself questions. Don't do anything else. What mindful boundary are you going to set for yourself to transform your mind from a diet mentality to a mindful eating lifestyle that is going to bring health to you? And so, anyways,
Close it with a prayer.
yes, we're going to close it with a prayer.
God, we just thank you so much for this opportunity for those who are looking for help in their lifestyle of eating and their relationship with food and struggles that they may be having with diet or other struggles with food, like emotional eating, food addiction, mindless eating, all of those things, that you grant them wisdom, that you help them set boundaries and stick to them that are easy, because it's a lifestyle that is sustainable, that is something that they enjoy sticking to, rather than feeling like a restrictive diet that brings guilt or shame when they break it. So, God, we're just praying for more wisdom for all of us, that we build a healthy community of support to lift each other up. And we just thank you for these resources. We thank you for the wisdom. We thank you for this community. And we pray all this in your name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. And let God bless your day.
See you tomorrow.